right, good morning, my intrepid traders. We are here on Friday, February 9th, 2024. Market is finally breaking out through the all-time highs right now, pushing to new highs for the year and new highs for the S&P, at least here in this pre-market session, right after the drop of the revised December CPI data. So right at that 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern time frame, we got the pop. And let's go ahead and jump back and take a look at what happened here yesterday. And this is going to be a very quick little review because the market did nothing, right? So if we come back to yesterday, this is the whole day right here. We had a little bit of what I would consider a reverse stair step, where we kind of stair step up our levels from the back end. But outside of that, nothing notable to mention here. I did, in our pre-market yesterday, talked about how a rejection from Hopel right here, which happened just before the market opened, or a rejection from the previous daily close would not be a good sign for our bullish bias. The issue is we got rejections from those two levels. In fact, right after the open here, shorting the previous daily close probably would have been the best trade of the day. The issue is, in the grander scheme of things, that if you did short Hopel or you did short the previous daily close, you didn't really get much out of it. So the biggest move of the day was shorting the first, really after the market opened here, the first level of expected resistance. If you shorted it, you got the biggest trade of the day, but the biggest trade of the day was literally, I think, exactly 10 points. If you held on all the way to the low of the day, it went like just over 10 points to the downside, and that was it, right? So that was kind of one of the ideas to trade yesterday, was to fade the market off the previous daily close. Again, told you these two levels were going to be the most important for the bulls to get through here before we came up into the high of the day before there. And sure enough, that would have been a good play. But if you look at the rest of the day here, just total chop fest, very, very balanced type market, and didn't get any action until we got into the overnight session. So yes, at the end of the day, the bulls came in and pushed it to, quote, a new high for the trading day, but it came right back to the high of the day before and then rejected right off of it to come right back into basically the mid area of the range for the day. So very, very uneventful. Nothing amazing to talk about. There were some decent plays, off of the Hopel. Some decent plays shorting the back end of the VWAP here as we were kind of trending lower on the day there after the open. Maybe some plays to take 5009 long multiple times. But again, just didn't go anywhere. Didn't get any follow through, and then would come right back to your entry. So that's the review for yesterday. Nothing really momentous to speak about. And now here we are coming into I guess probably the second best trade you could have taken yesterday. I kind of overlooked that, was as the market started to trend to make higher lows and higher highs towards the end of the day here, in that last, hour or two of the market, we pushed to a new high for the day, right? And we were pushing to higher lows, higher highs, got a new high for the day. The pullback into VWAP there would have been a really nice play with little local 512 divergence right off of it. And then you would have grabbed a nice little, say, 9-point bounce to the high of the day before there. So there was that opportunity as well. But given the fact that the market was sideways and choppy all day, it would have been a really, really, in my opinion, a lower probability trade to go ahead and try trading inside of all that chop at the end of the day there. So for all we know, it could have popped to a little high and then came right back into this range and chopped around. So maybe not an incredible opportunity at the time, but if you look, we did end up holding, pushing right up to the high of the day before. That led here into our overnight session, where it's been a nice little rally outside of the chop from the day before there. We did get a little bit of trouble from our scaffolding nearly to the tick for the pullback to hold VWAP to the tick and continue to rally higher in the overnight session. And then right here, This is the drop of whatever, the revised December CPI data, and got a really, really fast push right to the high, the all-time high on the S&P. Kind of got one of those typical peak above and fail patterns just above it, but then on the pullback, didn't really get far, and then we got this rally up to a new high for the year and a new all-time high in the S&P. And now, as you can see on the pullback here, nice little pop right off of the all-time high, or at least the all-time high as of 5 a.m. this morning. And now we're kind of trending back down, getting a nice little play right off the FMA and the all-time high level to come down and now bounce right off of VWAP here. So that's where we find ourselves, getting close to the open here. Let's go ahead and jump up to the higher time frames and see what they have to say for this morning.